Hey gamers, Sahar here from the editing room. We had a couple of technical issues this week, which led to an echo for around the first 10 minutes before that was rectified, and also a bit of a gain issue with one of the microphones. So we've done the best that we could, but I hope you enjoy the episode anyways, and it should be fixed for the next episode. Thanks. Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of Bazaar Cast. Firstly, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Pale Tides for the intro and outro music. They have a beautiful soul and some nasty ass fingers. So check out his stuff on all good and not so good streaming services.
Hell yeah.
So I am your host, Samir, and I'm here today with your other host, Samuel Lloyd Jackson. Sam, two things. One, tell me how you are. And two, tell me what is going on with these motherfucking turtles in my motherfucking card game.
Hey, dude, I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. And I've never been happier because they put all these turtles in my card game, which is just the best to me. I don't know what's wrong with the rest of you out there, but I love it.
So you're a Turtles fan?
Big Turtles fan ever since I was a kid.
Sick.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It seems like it's like one of those ones that caught people who are just like elder millennial, but not like younger millennials. So there's a bit of a split amongst the crew as to whether people like the Turtles or not.
Yeah. I definitely grew up with the Turtles around, but I wasn't so into it. It kind of seemed to me like it was in the bucket of a lot of things that were enjoyed at the time because there was nothing else around, really. But I know that they are better than that.
You dick. Yeah, I don't know. They're just like really irreverent and referential. So like they sort of fit into the same zone as like The Simpsons and stuff, where basically everything in there is a reference to something else. And I don't know. It's silly. It's not meant to be a serious sort of thing. I like that. I like some things that are just not self-serious.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely like I definitely did enjoy like dressing up as them and fighting my brothers and stuff. Like it did influence me in some ways. But yeah, I just never actually fully got into the lore of it, I guess, if there is like I guess there's a comic book and stuff, right? So there would be lore for it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's I mean, it's been going for forever, and it's actually a really interesting history. There's some good YouTube videos of the history of the publication and stuff, because it was sort of like two guys, and at some points they were fighting, and not one would publish and the other one wouldn't publish, and then it's worth looking into if anyone's got the time. But all I can say is that you're a real Michelangelo, Saher.
I'm going to take that as a compliment.
Yeah, sure. Why
Everything
not?
you say is nice to me.
Yeah, I only say nice things to Saher for those playing at home.
All right, let's get straight into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I guess. So there's a couple of new mechanics we got coming up. There is Sneak, which mostly seems to be a fixed/weaker ninjutsu, but it's on non-creatures as well as creatures. And we've got mutagen tokens. So maybe let's start with Sneak. It has to be during the blocker step that you return it.
Yep.
So you can't deal damage and then do it anymore. You can't do that little trick. And you still cast the spell. So it can be countered. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's my understanding of it. So a little tighter window, which plays probably a lot better with all the online clients. Like particularly Arena, it's probably a little... it works a lot more like it looks like it should work. But it also goes on the stack instead of just being an ability, which I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that. I kind of liked that ninjutsu dodged counterspells, but...
Me too. It's kind of the whole thing for ninjas, right? Is to like show up and and it's in the name too, sneak, right? Whereas if it's like, actually, you knocked on the door before you snuck in.
Yeah. Hey guys, what's up? It's the blocker step. Do you want to use your counterspells? Yeah, it's fun though. They've done some cool stuff with it, I think. Like a lot of the cost reducers, as well as some really splashy effects that you get a good rate on if you use the sneak mechanics. So I like the design space they're using for it, and I like that it's on instants and sorceries now. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. And the timing changes so much from card to card. So like certain ones, it's like, +2/+0 to your whole team. That's so awesome, bringing the creature in. But then certain ones, it's like, wheel, like each player discards their hand and draw 7, so you actually lose the card you just picked up, which is like not the greatest timing to do that. So there is some interesting timing with the different effects, and based on like what creature you return really changes the equation on how good that card is. Yeah, some of them want you to return like really good creatures, and then some of them want you to return just absolute shitters. And
Yeah.
yeah, it actually looks like it's gonna be quite fun and quite varied.
Yeah, it's interesting in that like we're sort of getting, I don't know, it's sort of like a an array of different effects on it at the moment, rather than them all wanting you to build in one particular way. Like there are some like classic ninja ones where you kind of want it with cheap cards and whatever, as you were saying, but some of these other ones are just like, here's a haymaker of a spell. Do you want a discount? I guess you're returning a creature. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that like it doesn't feel like it's the end of the mechanic, if you know what I mean. I won't be surprised if we see it back relatively soon. It seems like it's got a lot of design space.
Agreed. Yeah, it looks really sweet and really fun and really deep. To be honest, there's a lot to it. Like, and even like like something a lot of people are interested in. I'll just get into one card we're going to talk about later. Now, Kitsune's technique. So for blue, target opponent mills half their library rounded up, or sneak one in a blue. Like a lot of people are excited about this. It's traumatized for 2 mana, but it's like, so you want to play a 1-drop so you can do this on turn 2, but then that's a pretty weird deck that you're building.
Hey, what if
one
my
drops and then
Hedron
mill
crab
half your
goes
opponent.
unblocked? You know, like don't block my Hedron crab. Like, it is interesting. Like that's got such a, I don't know, because it's an instant as well, right? So it's not exactly traumatized, because I think traumatized is sorcery, but it gives you just a really weird incentive structure, and I think it's cool. Like this card doesn't have to be good for me to like it in that way, but I've also been thinking about it for constructed a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I love mill. It's I'm like a mill chaser.
Oh no, we're aware of your affinity for deck death.
So yeah, there's been lots of ways to do it, and I think that this is quite nice with Riverchurn Monument as well, just for anyone wanting to do that. So
yeah, it's really good with Riverchurn.
Riverchurn just finishes them off, and you can get that by like pretty early.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be kind of crazy to see if you could get like a combo kill with this. Like if you're just like building more for combo rather than, I don't know, being a reasonable deck.
But yeah, so that's one of the first new mechanics. We'll get into some more of that later. And then we've also got mutagen tokens, which are basically the new clue, food, treasure variant for this set. But the resource that they give you is that they put a +1/+1 counter for one tap sack, the artifact. So that seems pretty sweet. And there's a new like Ozolith style ooze card. So there's a lot of +1/+1 counters in this theme, in this set, and it's going to be interesting because the last set had blight counters. So combining those two in standard is going to be a nightmare, but digital for the win, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean the great thing about these sets in paper, like how they did Lawman Eclipse and now how they're doing this, is that it's only one kind within the limited set. Yeah. So you don't have to, like, if you just have dice, then the dice are just like whatever counter it is in limited. You don't have to have two different colors of dice or anything like that, which makes it a lot easier. But as soon as you get into constructed, it's a huge mess. So,
Yeah. But, we'll sort that out later, I guess.
Yeah, it'll be fine. So, we'll put it with our billion tokens and, whatever the fuck you need to play standard at the moment anyway.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous right now. Clones and everything. It's very hard. But all right, let's get into some cards, man. Let's talk about some of these fun, interesting, wacky, powerful, whatever's grabbed our attention. So the first card I've got here is Casey Jones Vigilante. 1 red legendary creature. When it enters, draw 3 cards, and at the beginning of your next upkeep, discard 3 cards at random, and it's a 4/3. So first of all, something that's awesome about this is you could just use all the cards. So if it's late game or if they're very cheap, you can just use them all and then you don't discard anything. But also I know that there is a Rakdos discard, like aggressive deck right now in standard. And so it's not even necessarily a bad thing to discard cards and it just refills your hand. So I think it's got like a promising shell already in standard, and it's just a pretty cool effect. If you use it in a storm or artifact style deck, you can just use up those resources as I mentioned. And it's also a legendary creature. You can build a sweet commander deck around it. So lots of directions with this card.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, so with the Moonshadow deck, it's also 4 power, so it will help you get back your Phoenixes, because that's the trigger on that is Ferocious. And also, like, the fact that it just works really good with burn spells is kind of cool. That, you draw the 3 cards, and let's say even you're using your mana, but, like, let's say you're playing, like, I don't know, 9, 10,
Shock,
15
burst
shocks
lightning.
in your deck.
Yeah.
You're probably going to be able
Upkeep.
to cast like a shock and a lightning strike or whatever it is off this,
Yep.
and get like pretty solid value out of a draw 3. So that, yeah, I mean, it's a 3 mana 4/3 draw 3, even with the downside, is kind of cracked.
A delayed downside as well. Like if this thing just blocks and dies, you just got 3 cards for free, right?
I think it might be a delayed trigger on that.
Oh,
So
really?
I think it'll occur either way, but
Okay, cool. That's
because
good to know.
there's no break in the text there. But yeah, as you say, it might not even be a downside.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Interesting. But yeah, this one looks fun and it looks powerful and there's a shell, so I'm excited to see if it does something. Do you want to read the next card for us?
Yeah, I will. I mean, if you insist. But let me tell you about Mutagen Man, the Living Ooze. It is X and green for a 2/3 Ooze Mutant. So green 2/3 with X on the top. Trample. Activate abilities of artifact tokens you control cost 1 less to activate. And then Mutagen Man enters, create X mutagen tokens. So meaningfully making those tokens free to crack,
Yeah.
as well as anything like your maps or, I mean, what have you. There's a billion of them around, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I think that this is also like, there was like a forensic gadgeteer or something, some blue card from Murders of Colored Manor, I think.
Yeah.
And whenever you cast an artifact, it makes a clue, but it reduces activated abilities as well. And I'm wondering if we can get to a state where we can start stacking. That one says it can't reduce it to less than 1.
Yeah.
But then if you add this one to it, do you know how that works?
I believe that you get to choose the order that you use those
So you would
abilities
be able
in.
to
So as
reduce
long
it
as
to
you
0?
have one that doesn't care, it should be able to go to
Yep.
0. I think that's the way it
Cool.
works, but like, don't quote me on that. Let's get a judge involved at some point.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking. And so I'm like, if it does work that way, when I saw this card, I'm like, we're actually going to reach a point where we can start activating a lot of these things that they're basically giving out for free now, or as extra trinkets. We're going to be able to start activating and ripping through our deck, or
I mean, getting to crack
doing
your
all sorts of-
clues for 0 is starting to get like really interesting. Like,
that's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
yeah, like I mean, getting the mutagens and maps and
Maps
stuff
to
for
0?
free is pretty good. But like, as soon as you're doing clues, there's like quite a lot of clue interactions in standard. And we found, like, unlike the last time that they were in standard, clues tend to be a little too expensive now. Like, everything's a little too mana efficient to sit there and just keep cracking clues. But if you like a 0, then it's just free card draw. So that's pretty gas.
Yeah. And it's just a 2 mana 2/3, at its floor. You don't have to do all the other bullshit, and it works for you. So that one looks real interesting to me. I think we'll be able to do cool stuff.
Cool.
Anything else with this one, or you want to move on to another guy?
Now let's go on to the Turtle Wolf Mutant, and you can read that one.
Cool. So Toka and Razar, terrible 2s. I probably didn't pronounce that right, but this spell can't be countered. Menace, whenever a player casts a spell, if the amount of mana spent to cast it was less than its mana value, this creature deals 3 damage to that player. And it's a 3/2 legendary creature. So this seems really sweet out of sideboards. Like, this is like an upgraded Eidolon in some matchups, I guess. And yeah, I think that there's room to play 1 or 2 of these in the sideboard in many decks and in many formats, like going all the way back to Eternal formats. Highlander, it's going to be excellent in. I can see it in all sorts of plays. 3 damage versus 2 damage is so much in terms of the trigger. And it's also 3 power, and it's got Menace. Like, this thing is going to beat down, and you can be splashed in your mono black decks for an Eidolon effect. There's a lot out of this that you'll really enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. We're starting to get to the point in Standard where there's actually like quite a lot of legendary black hate bears, which I don't know if that matters that much, but I don't know. Like, this I mean, the one thing that occurred to me immediately with this card is that it pings you with Bolt You every time you cast an Evoke Elemental for an Evoke cost. And those cards are getting a lot of play in Standard. So, I mean, usually these cards, like, because they hate on something that's actually pretty powerful, they tend to be better in older formats. That, like, you're really in the market for anything that punishes mana reduction in Highlander, for example. But in Standard, you don't normally get those sort of things as easily. But we do have a lot of them getting played at the top tables right now. So, yeah, it's super interesting.
It's a great point. I didn't even think about it for Standard. Like you said, you usually just skip this style card for Standard, but it's actually lined up this time, where there's a lot of Bullschlacher evoke creatures.
Yeah, I mean, it
This is
seems
great.
intentional, right? Like I don't
Yeah.
think that that this was a
Two
mistake
sets
to come
apart. They couldn't have
straight
known.
after Lorwyn.
They couldn't have known.
Yeah, yeah, it's a cool card. I like the hybrid mana as well. It just makes it
Yeah.
really applicable.
Yeah. And it's also great for pitching if you want to cast your own stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Furies or Griefs or whatever. Like it
Yeah.
helps in all of those things, which is sweet.
100%. Yeah. No, I'm super into it. I think it's a good card.
I've got another one here for us, Shredder's Technique. So it's 2 and a black, destroy target creature enchantment. If an enchantment was destroyed this way, you lose 2 life. But it's got Sneak for a black, so it's a sorcery. And if you return a tapped creature, so I was just an unblocked creature. Sorry, I was just thinking that this seems pretty decent in the Pixie decks. Like they're already bouncing things over and over again, but this gives them an out to things that they might not already be able to deal with. So you might trim one Grim Bauble or one Momentum Breaker for a couple of copies of this, and you'd be able to hit like High Noon or whatever seems to be affecting you.
Yeah.
And it can also destroy bigger creatures instead of being stuck on the -2 or them sacking something. So
Yeah,
I think it's got a good, decent home there. You can't keep doing it, obviously,
Yeah.
but I think if you need to deal with enchantments, you've got a way to keep playing your game plan of returning your pixie to then bounce something else.
it's so interesting. So, like, Withering Torment is currently legal, which is like an instant speed version of the full cost here. But the cost reducer is so efficient that
Yeah.
I can see you just wanting it because it can cost 1. Like, I know we've got a couple of like solid enough 1 mana removal spells, but this even synergizes with Tragic Trajectory in that it like allows you to bounce your own guy, kill something, turn on your Tragic Trajectory, -13 something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm really interested to see how this one works in gameplay because I can see it. I can see it. I can also see it like not getting into the slots just because there's so many good removal spells, but you never know with these. You want them to be powerful enough designs that you have the option of actually playing it. And I think this fits the bill pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it won't, blow your socks off, but if it, like I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of copies of this in multiple top performing decks at some point.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cheap and there's no limitation on what it kills. Just destroy target creature. It could be a 6/6, a 6/5, whatever it is. It kills them all.
Yeah.
One black mana. Which is
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Well, just for those playing at home as well, just I think that there's enough sneak stuff and enough low cost stuff that we might see the blue black mid range, Kaido deck move into a lower curve anyway. And the more 1-drops you have, the better these cards get in the first place. So yeah, if everything starts overlapping enough, then like all these cards get better together. Like there is a deck for them to exist in. So yeah, a big fan of it.
Cool. You want to give us the next one?
Yeah, so the next one we have is Super Shredder. Not your regular Shredder, the super one. So it's a legendary creature, mutant ninja human, 1 and a black for a 1/1, and it has menace. And the text is the interesting thing about this card, which is whenever another permanent leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Super Shredder. Meaningfully, this does not care about your permanents. It doesn't care about non-token permanents. It just cares about any permanent ever.
Yeah. This thing is going to go nuts. And I think there's already like shells, like you said, there's build up for mono black stuff. There's the Rakdos decks. Moon Shadow's already wanting to get rid of things. So you have a lot of disposable stuff. Also, like if you combine this with, say, that green ooze we were talking about earlier, and then you have all your mutagen tokens cost 0.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty sweet. You're getting 2 counters for 0 activation on each mutagen. So there's a lot of things that they've set up, treasure tokens, all sorts of nonsense. Field of Ruin. The Field of Ruin would actually trigger it twice, wouldn't it? Or Revelation Field, whatever's legal.
Yep.
So there's all sorts of just insane things that just happen as the game goes on, and this thing's going to get huge and kill your opponent very quickly.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be played in this deck, but like you got to even think like the mono green landfall deck, right? Like let's say you just jammed it in here, all your fetches pump this thing, like Earthband things that come back twice or whatever. It's just really good with it. I don't think it'll get played in that, just to be clear, but yeah, there's no safety valve on it. And usually when we see these sort of cards, there's something like it says non-token, it says only your stuff, it says like max once a turn, and just none of those things exist on this card. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I think the cheeky safety, the gate on it, is the legendary creature. Because
Yeah.
when I was thinking about it yesterday, I'm like, oh, once you get two of these going, it's nuts. And I'm like, oh, they've
Yeah, you
actually
can't do
hacked
that.
that. So I
Yeah.
think that's the one thing where they're like, this would be pretty crazy if you just start spamming them and then fetches and whatever. Like, because you
Yeah.
also got to think about it in the context of older formats and Mishra's baubles and
Yeah.
all that other bullshit. So
Yeah, I mean, it could be a bit. I think it's just straight up a better card in modern to start with than it will be
yeah,
in standard, just because of
yeah,
all that stuff. Like, and just fetch lands existing all over the place in that format, and
yeah.
um, yeah, I agree that the legendary creature element is a bit of a gate on it, but I think if you want it, you want four anyway. So
For sure. But I think like in recent times, legendary has just been whacked on either as a nod to Commander or just because of the UV stuff. But I think that this is the first time in a long time that we've seen a creature that's actually like, oh, the legendary is really going to slow that down. Like you can't, like Thalia Heretic Cathar, if you could put four of those into play, it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Right? So the legendary actually does gate it. And I think that this is quite similar to that rather than like your 7-mana Joda or whatever. It's like, who cares if you get two of them? The first one wins the game anyways.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a great point. That's a great point. I hadn't thought of it like that, but it does call back to earlier design in that way, I think.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So next we got Krang Utrom Warlord. So 9 colorless mana, legendary artifact creature, 9/9, flying, trample, indestructible haste. Other artifact creatures you control have flying, trample, indestructible haste. So I put this one down, and I'm now in real time realizing it says other artifact creatures you control. I thought it was all other creatures you
Oh,
control.
dude, no, it is not.
I was like, that's gonna be pretty insane in like Bringer of Last Gift decks because now you have like an
I'll be
instant
slamming it into my living index like so fucking quick, man. Like,
Okay. So it's just a big fancy Chroma's Memorial for other artifacts. So I guess do with that what you want in casual formats.
I mean, it's still pretty good. Like it has 4 good keywords on it. It is an indestructible 9/9 with haste, flying, and trample. Like if you can cheat this into play, it's still fat as hell and impossible to get rid of. So, obviously, some of our viewers out there might be thinking about how to actually synergize with it. But I mean, I just like it for the stats.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I guess just reanimating this on its own is pretty huge as well. Like you don't have to play it with other things. And
yeah, it's just so hard to get rid of, like, but you could, like, if you could find a way to play with some other stuff, I think that would be super sick. And one of those cards that I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes when I see cards like this, I'm like, well, I'm not going to work this out, but someone will. Like, I'll outsource that one to the community because I'll be too busy casting combat tricks or something.
So next up, I've got Prehistoric Pet, single white creature, dinosaur ninja. It's a 1/2, and this creature can't be blocked by creatures of greater power. So 1 and a white, tap, return another target creature you control to its owner's hand, activate only during your turn. And I put this one down here because it is cute as fucking hell, man.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So you don't like TMNT until we're talking about dinosaur pets. Okay.
Yeah, little baby dinosaurs. They're sick, man.
Okay. You heard it here first.
But this effect is actually like low-key very powerful. I don't think it'll do anything in standard, but there was a 3-mana artifact in Modern Horizons 3, Essence Reliquary, I think it was. Tap to return a permanent. This is obviously just a creature, but it's actually very, very powerful in Commander style formats where you're playing blank decks or whatever. You can keep returning and triggering things over and over. So I mostly wanted to bring it up because it's cute, but also that ability is an underrated ability.
I actually think it actually might be okay in standard, which is weird because it's unblockable and it has the word ninja on it.
So just for snaking things.
Just for snaking things, and also, I mean, they're obviously Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's a lot of ninjas in this set, and we've seen Kato from Duskmorn be played pretty consistently the entire time it's been legal. That card's pretty messed up, and the only thing it hasn't been able to do, the only thing it hasn't been able to do is pump ninjas, and now we have a bunch of ninjas, and this one sort of fits the script for. Again, it's like it's evasive. It only costs 1 mana. And it says ninja on it. Those decks don't currently play white, but I'm keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, I guess I just thought because it's white, I didn't really consider it for the ninjas. But you're right, like that people might make the move into Esper or other color combinations too.
Yeah, I mean, I could see like blue-white or white-black splashing whatever the other color is for Kaido pretty easily. The mana's pretty good at the moment, so I think you can probably get away with it, especially if you're an aggressive deck and you don't mind shocking yourself as much.
There's also some sneak card. I think it costs maybe 3 or 4 mana to make 3/1/1s.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can sneak it for 2 mana, I believe it is. You can sneak it. So you play this on 1, play that on 2, and you're attacking with 3/1/1s on turn 2. So you do need a critical mass of white 1-drops to make that card work on turn 2. So this one's probably a pretty decent one for that style of deck.
Yeah, like if you're going like doing some go wide ninja thing. It's
but I guess you could even not do ninjas in that style of deck. Just play like a really aggro white weenie deck, and you've got more like
Imadame's Recruiter sort of stuff, or
exactly. Yeah. Gleeful Demolition style, but you're using this as your
as your jank, put a bunch of 1/1s into play combo.
Yeah.
I'm into it. That's good. I like that. I hadn't thought of that one.
Alrighty, you want to do this next one for us?
Oh, not really. This is a Saha choice. Turtles Forever. It's a 3 and a white instant. Search a library and or outside the game for exactly 4 legendary creature cards you own with different names, then reveal those cards. An opponent chooses 2 of them, put the chosen cards into your hand, and shuffle the rest into your library. It's nice that this says exactly.
Sure.
Because it's like a gifts ungiven effect, right? So, like, oftentimes you could just fail to find and just get the 2 you want. So, you need to just find exactly 4 this time.
Jeez, that makes it terrible. Like, because what if you run out?
Well, you can take them outside the game. I've got my piles of legends over there, man. Like, you can just go, okay.
Yeah, but what if they're in your graveyard?
Oh, no. Not my legends.
But like oftentimes things like this require specific combo pieces, right? So if you get milled or if you mill yourself or whatever, like you can actually just put yourself in a position where you can't.
Yeah, but you could just put them all on the sideboard, right?
Sure, that's true. Yep.
If you wanted. Obviously, you're taking up a lot of sideboard slots that way. And you obviously need some redundancy and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't see it. This is your
is
pick.
The White Khan, the great creator. You heard it here first, Sam.
Okay. All right, cool.
I mostly picked this because I wanted you to tell me which one was your favorite era of Turtles. Because it's
to be honest, my favorite era of Turtles aren't on here. My favorite era of Turtles are the big rubber suits they wore in the early 90s movies.
Oh, yeah. True.
With the Hong Kong kung fu actors underneath them. That is my stuff. So it's like, I don't know if anyone's seen, like, I mean, some people will have seen those movies, but I, as a kid, I wore out those VHSs. Either
that's
that or
you
my
can see
mum
the
destroyed them
mouths
because she was
inside
sick of watching it. But whichever one is true is fine.
Yeah, that's the one where you can see the mouths inside of the turtles' mouths. Is that right?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's like Hong Kong film in New York in the 90s, which is like the best era for Hong Kong film. So it's sort of like, I don't know, it's weird. It's sort of gritty. It's like, rain slick streets and smoke coming out of the manhole covers, and it's just it's a weird combination of things. It's very specific to one era.
Right. Fantastic.
Yep. That's my recommendation for this week, by the way. The second one, though. Watch the second one. Shredder's Revenge.
Right. Shredder's Revenge. All right, let's do this next card. Triceraton Commander. So it's a XX white dinosaur soldier flying. It's a 2/2, and whenever this creature attacks, dinosaurs you control other than this creature get +1/+1 and gain flying until end of turn. And when this creature enters, create X 2/2 white dinosaur soldier creature tokens. The thing that jumped to me straight away with this is that this can be played with Lurrus as your companion, which seems like a really awesome late game thing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's like a classic army in a can sort of design, except normally you pay the first white to get nothing. This one comes with the body, which is pretty good. I like that.
A 2/2 flying body. Like, this is like a good bear. Like, 2/2 flying is good for 2 mana. So, and then not only does it create things, but it also has a trigger, like when it attacks. So let's just say you've played the one white dinosaur ninja we talked about earlier into this. You don't even have to make the things, right? Like, you can just attack and they both get flying now, and the other one gets +1/+1. So pretty aggro and great late game card, and it's not legendary. So,
well, even if you cast, let's say you cast this for X equals 3, right? You get 3 dinosaur, whatever they are, space dinosaur soldiers, and then it becomes a must answer threat, because that's going to be like 11 damage in the air the next turn.
That's right,
Which is pretty tough to deal with for just a 5 mana card, and a 5 mana card that sort of creates its value over multiple permanents. So I can see it for sure.
Yeah, and once you get to that stage of the game where you're making 2 of them, it's then you just want to start chaining them into each other. You don't even care if they kill the first one, and then you play the second one and play the third one, and it's like if one of these survives, all these other tokens will now be lethal. So, and if they don't survive, I've still got 10 2/2s or 8 2/2s or whatever over the course of casting multiple of them. So yeah, and then again, it's really good with Lurrus as well because you can. I think there was a card like this in maybe Midnight Hunt or Vow, Crimson Vow, where it was like a 2-mana 3/1, and when it enters, you can pay 1 and a white multiple times, and it would give everything +1/+1. But creating extra bodies is so much more powerful than going tall on one creature that they can just fatal push or kill. Like
yeah. No, I remember that. Yeah, that was a whole cycle of, I can't remember what they were all called, but yeah, that white one was interesting. That was a 2-mana 3/1. This is a 2-mana 2/2 flyer, which I think, to be honest, in most standard formats, you'd rather the flyer, right? Because the 3/1's just going to get blocked out. I don't know about, Highlander, but I imagine it's pretty the same there.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So we're up to some of the cards that you've put in. So do you want to get us started on this first one?
Yeah, absolutely. So I picked my cards a little differently. I'm mostly focused on things that I was like keen to build for standard. So the first one's Ravenous Robots. So Ravenous Robots is a 1 and a red artifact creature robot. It's a 2/1 creature, and whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless robot artifact creature token that has an activated ability of red and tap this creature. Creature tokens you control gain haste until end of turn. So for me, this card is the second of this effect that we have in standard. We also have Pinnacle Emissary, which is the hybrid blue-red warp one that got a lot of play in Modern. And having two of them makes me think that there is some possibility that you can use one of these as a setup turn, then the next turn cast the other one along with some other cheap artifacts. Go pretty wide with your 1/1s, and that will just bring the cost of all the affinity creatures way down. So that's. I think this card's sick. I think it's really good.
Yeah, I love this. This is like another army in a can sort of card. I'm just trying to think, what are like the cheapest playable artifacts that we want to play? Like,
there's not many.
Yeah.
So I've done a search on this. So there's only 2 cards in standard that cost 0 that are artifacts. One is Market Back Walker. So that is an XX card that you put counters on. It's similar to a Hangerback Walker or a Walking Ballista or something like that. So that would die immediately if you cast it for 0, but it does cost 0. And then there's also Mox Jasper, which is the Dragon Mox from Dragonstorm. If you wanted to just do a real do-nothing 0 cost.
I'm more thinking like, do we have... What's Nutrient Block do? Like, I'm more thinking, do we have like Chromatic Stars, Chromatic Sphere style, like 1 mana, 2 mana to like keep cycling through? That would
that would also do it. Yeah, I haven't actually even looked for those because I didn't think of that. The one I got excited by was having Springleaf Drum, as well as some other good 1-cost artifacts like artifact creatures or Enigma Jewel, and there's a good spaceship that costs 1 as well in blue. So my feeling was that this wasn't going to be as explosive as something like a Modern Affinity or anything like that, because you're going to need a setup turn before you can spam the board with 1/1s. But you can do it. It is a thing that exists now. And if you're trying to play the larger affinity cards, of which there are 3, so there's Memory Guardian, which is 4 and a blue for a 3/4 flying artifact creature with affinity. There's Valkyrie Air Unit from Final Fantasy, which is 5 and 2 blue for a 5/4 flyer with affinity, and then when it enters, you surveil 2. And then there's also Krang from this set, which is, Krang's the best, man. Who doesn't like a good Krang?
Let's talk about Krang now. Let's just talk about Krang now. And
let's talk about it. So we'll talk about it at the same time. So Krang Mastermind. So there's a couple of different Krangs in the set. So it's 6 blue for a 1/4 artifact creature with, it's an Utron Warrior with affinity. And then when it enters, if you have fewer than 4 cards in hand, you draw up to that difference. So you draw back up to 4. So 0 cards, draw 4 cards, 2 cards, draw 2 cards. It also gets +1
-1 or
it's up to it's just mathematics, I think. No, I don't think that works like that. But it also gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. So got to draw a couple of evasive threats and a draw engine. They're all large bodies, and if you can get them to cost 1 or 2 mana, through making a bunch of robots, even if the Ravenous robots or Pinnacle Emissary get answered, as long as they've left enough stuff behind, you can start getting into the top end of the deck, which I think is a pretty cool place to be. And if you get the Krang draw, you can possibly find your way back into the making tokens part of the deck. So
Yeah. Yeah, these look sweet. I saw Ravenous Robots and I thought it looked pretty good, but I then thought about it a bit more. I'm like, this is a glorified Young Pyromancer. And is Young Pyromancer even still playable? Because we got a blue-red one in Dom United, and I don't think that saw very much play, right?
it was in Brothers War.
Brothers War, that's the one, sorry.
Third Path Iconoclast. It got a little bit of play here and there. It didn't get much standard play, but the entire time it was legal, we didn't actually have the cantrips for it. So we actually only recently got Opt back, and we got Sleight of Hand in... I think that might have been legal at the same time, but I think that's in Eldraine. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that what you want for something like this is, at this point, because you're right that these things have been a little bit power crept, you want to have a reason to be doing it that isn't just
so the
doing
affinity
it.
is the payoff. Not just
It's an enabler and a payoff rather than just it's the point.
Yep.
Because, these things will get outsized very quickly and it can just fail to a removal spell, yada, 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 yada. So it's a bunch of risk you're taking on when playing something like this. So you do want there to be a pretty high reward.
Yeah. Yeah, and Krang, like, drawing 4 cards is a huge reward. It just, we'll need, like, a way to convert it, like, whether it's a Impact Tremor style thing or whatever that red enchantment was where you could tap Europa 8 for grid or something along those lines. So you could tap 2 artifacts to deal 1 damage. You'll need some sort of payoff to like be able to finish your opponent off with all your shitters.
Maybe. I mean, there is also the potential of just going wide enough to attack through what they've got, and look,
even then you need like a inspired charge like card, right? You need something to.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna OTK them for sure. The way I have it drawn up right now is quite fair, and consider that a criticism.
I just get worried about going wide right now when Badge Mole's in the format. Like everyone's prepared to wipe the board.
Yeah, there's stuff like Legion Extruder, for example, to get to kill creatures and also to upgrade your guys into 3/3s is plausible.
Nice.
But yeah, look, I haven't perfectly worked it out yet, but I'll be playing it.
Oh,
that's for sure.
Sounds sick. So you're prepping some of these cards for early access as well, right?
Yeah, so we're just 2 days pre-early access at the moment. By the time everyone hears this, they'll be able to play the cards themselves. So, I don't know, we'll give it a go, and you guys can let me know how wrong I was or how right I was. I'm sure everyone will let me know if I'm right, though, right? Like, they'll definitely comment that.
Of course.
Yeah. I trust you guys.
Flag you down and stop you in the middle of the street.
Yeah. Oh, Sam, you're right again. I mean, that actually happens to me all the time, so I'm kind of used to it. But yeah,
they all blend together.
Yeah, they all blend together. Everyone's always stopping me on the street, telling me that I'm good at Magic the Gathering. You mean that doesn't happen to you? That's crazy. All right, so let me move quickly along to the next one.
Do you want me to take this one?
Yeah, well, you can read it out if you want. Why don't you read it out?
Yeah, I'll read it out. You tell us what you like about it. All right, so Raph and Mikey, Troublemakers. So 7 total mana, 5 colorless, and then Gruul Hybrid, red, green. Trample Haste, 7/7. When Raph and Mikey attack, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
Yeah, so just flip until your next creature comes in attacking. It itself is a 7 mana 7/7 trample haste. So I like reanimating this. I like ramping to it as long as you're not playing shitters in the deck. Like, it does create an interesting deck building requirement that you kind of only want powerful creatures if you're playing this. But I can see this in the Highlander reanimator deck. Like, you reanimate this, you get the next guy. Nice and easy. It's already attacking. Maybe it's a Grizzlebrand or an Emrakul. Could be an Emrakul. Could always be an Emrakul.
It's good with Oath of Druids as well.
Great with Oath of Druids. And in Standard, there's a couple of ways to cheat this into play. So Zombify is legal, as well as Cavero, aka Superior Spider-Man, to get a version of this into play pretty cheaply. As well as, there's some ramp tools that have been a little underexplored. So I've been a little interested in this card as something that fits into the sort of Smuggler Surprise, pseudo go big combo deck that existed a little while ago, and yeah, I don't know. It's just a really good rate and a really good ability, I think.
Yeah, this looks really interesting. What's like the biggest thing you want to hit with it? Like summon Bahamut, or what's the
Yeah, I
biggest
mean,
thing
if
you
you're
want to hit?
going like real hard into it, like just really trying to go big, there's a bunch of the saga creatures from Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
Whether it is summon Bahamut or summon Knight of the Rounds, I think it is,
sure.
which
Yeah, that
is
one's huge as
also a
well.
big one. Well, I mean, it's
Yeah,
only a 3/3, but it's indestructible and it makes 3/2/2s a turn, so that's pretty sick. That you could go like really large into that way, and then those things are also themselves decent reanimation threats.
yeah,
So the things that you want to do in the deck don't actually diverge, right? Like it's not like this is the only hit. You could hit one of those and you're pretty happy with it, and you're extra happy if you hit them with this. Is
yeah,
sort of where I'd like to be.
yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be something that I'm looking at as well. I think because it's hybrid mana, you can do it in a bunch of different color combinations as well, which is quite sweet.
Yeah. So this kind of it's not the same, but it's giving me an analog to Winota, right? And Winota had like there was a card that went like it gave all your attacking creatures or gave all your creatures double strike, right? And so
Yeah.
basically there would almost be like a combo finish. I wonder if we could get to that stage where you could like if you hit two cards, you basically win the game. You do 19 or 18 damage or whatever. I think that'll make this card very, very like a lot more playable or a lot more deadly,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
guess.
it's
If it's not
interesting,
just
right?
like
Because it's
putting
already going to represent, if you're building it like that, it's already going to represent quite a lot of damage. Like,
yeah.
how big's Summon Bahamut? It's like an 8/8 flyer, right?
Yeah, 8/8 or 9/9, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that. So that's already like 15 damage, and you remove a permanent.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so, I mean, you could also think about playing this with something like a Valgavoth,
yeah,
which is 9/9 lifelink, flying,
yeah,
and also
yeah,
impossible to remove. So I think that the potential for this card I think is relatively high. The other one that's really good with is Ureni, which is one of the dragons that hasn't seen that much play, which is a 10/10 pro white pro black flyer that also ETBs deals damage equal to the number of lands you control to a creature. So in terms of like hard to answer threats and big threats, there's just tons in standard at the moment. And having this as a payoff slash enabler for them at the same time sounds like somewhere I don't know. I just want to look at it at the very least. It seems like a lot of fun, and it
very,
could be
very.
powerful. Who knows?
Yeah. This is really sick because there is those like style of cards they try to make like See the Unwritten or what was the old one they used to play?
Summoning
Tooth
trap.
and Nail, Summoning Trap. There is these style
Yeah.
of cards where they want you to go get creatures and then try to like put this big creature. But because this is a creature itself,
Yeah.
it just goes so much better into those style decks. You can just attack with it. You're not reliant on like hitting things or people stopping. And like you said, you can reanimate it or you can copy it or you can do. So I think being a creature with this effect is so much more powerful. And that's honestly why we saw Winota being so powerful as well, right? Like
Yeah.
having an extra creature to do the thing to get creatures is so much better than having to play Green Sun Zenith or whatever it is, because it just takes away from your creature count sometimes.
Yeah, I think that I totally agree with that, as well as it also benefiting the things that you would like to do to enable the big creatures is good. So, like, because if you're
Yeah.
playing like all these large creatures, you either want to be ramping or reanimating. Both are viable at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zombify is legal in standard, for example, right? Like, it doesn't have to be a superior Spider-Man. If you never want to hit a superior Spider-Man, you don't have to play that card. You can just play Zombify, or you could play 8 copies of that sort of 4-mana reanimate effect, in addition to just haymakers and ways to put them into the graveyard or whatever. So yeah, I think it's just like the thing that I like the best about this is the different plausible builds that it could go into, if you know what I mean. That it doesn't, it's not, it really wants to exist in a certain environment of other creatures, but the ways to get to that point of the game are varied. So they could go through the graveyard, go through ramp, and either way, you're still getting paid off pretty hard with this one.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. And we've got one more card to talk about here.
Yeah, do you want me to do this one?
For us?
So this one's
do it.
Michelangelo's Technique, and this one, like, low-key might actually be the best card in the set, which is, it's weird, but I think it might be. So it's a sorcery for 4 and a green. It's also got a sneak cost of 3 and a green. If you want the mana reduction, you can sneak it. You look at the top 8 cards of your library, and you put up to 2 creature cards with total mana value 6 or less from among them onto the battlefield, and then the rest on the bottom in a random order. So it's sort of it's a weird collected company in that collected company hitting 2-3 drops is exactly 6 CMC. This goes 2 cards deeper, costs 1 more, but also enables you to get different combinations of cards. So, for example, you can hit just 1 6-drop. You can hit a 5-drop and a 1-drop. You can hit a 4-drop and a 2-drop. And I think that this card might just be cracked in bear bending.
Love that. Yeah. I was a bit upset you can't get Raph and Mikey, but then you said bear bending, and I'm like, okay, I don't care. Tell me more about this. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can get right. You can get both the both Doc Ock and Appa. You can get a 1-drop at the same time as you get Ang at the Crossroads. You can get a Ang Swift Savior with basically whatever's cheap in the deck. So it sort of allows that deck to go a little bit back into the ramp package that it used to play. Both to get the sneak and to ramp it out. Because you can get a mana cost reduction from a Gene Pollinator or something that goes unblocked. And, that deck just wants to go through tons and tons of cards, right? Like, that's sort of the issue with the deck, is that it doesn't see enough cards. Like, it's a top tier deck, right? So don't get me wrong, it's still very good. But going 8 cards deep and also the possibility of hitting Ang at the Crossroads to go 13 cards deep is just so much of your library.
This looks excellent. Yeah. I didn't even think about it, and then bear bending. I see why you say it's probably the best card in the set for at least that huge impact there.
This is one to play with. That's a natural home for it, but like, don't get me wrong, it's pretty applicable to other decks, right? So like, if you want to just be, I mean, you could be casting this in Simic, Badgermole decks. You get a Badgermole and an Ouroboros off this, for example. Like,
it's less exciting, but it's still decent.
Yeah, it's not as exciting because that deck's already consistent as hell. But like, more tools is more tools, right? So yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, and I mean, like, they sometimes play like Quantum Riddler backup plan or whatever. Hitting a Riddler and a 1-drop is okay. Like this, if you're still just getting 2 decent creatures, then you're not upset about it. Being sorcery only, I like, because it stops any upkeep collected company shenanigans. So.
I think not only do you have to not deal with it, you don't have to sit while your opponent's thinking about when to cast their collected company. Like, that is one of the most miserable things about collected company, is just being like, bro, just cast it. Like, I either have a counter or I don't.
You're gonna whiff anyways. You're gonna whiff anyways.
It's gonna miss. Like, it's not like you're actually playing creatures in your deck. No, but it's pretty open ended in terms of what it could be applied to, but just a really powerful effect.
Right. Well, I think that was actually pretty fun. I'm pretty excited now for this set. Looking at a few of the cards and talking about them, it actually looks like it's going to be a bit of fun, and there is a bit of passion and love crafting at least some of these creatures. Which is
nice. For sure. I think like this set's going to get compared to the Spider-Man set, right? Like they're both set in New York. They're both comic books. They're both smaller sets. I think this is 190 draft cards. That being said, I think that just the design in this set and its applicability to formats that you and I and hopefully the listeners care about is a little broader, and people get excited for it, at least on the design aspect of the cards.
Yeah, and I think being uniform between digital and paper, the fact that the cards we're talking about will still be Super Shredder.
Imagine. I mean, you could never have seen that coming, right? That they would be uniform between. I mean, that's crazy. Magic's come a long way, baby.
We've reinvented Magic.
Oh my god! Could you imagine if everything was named the same on both? It's so nuts.
But yeah, I think that's it for TMNT. So maybe we'll just go to an ad break now, and then when we get back, we'll chat about some RCQs we played and some other stuff. So yeah, be right back.
Hey guys, we are now live on all sorts of podcast apps. Our first episodes were just on YouTube, but now they're available wherever you get your podcasts. So please download them and give us a 5-star review if you're an Apple Podcast user, as well as liking and hitting the bell icon on YouTube. They're all free, they really help, and we love to see you guys coming back to the podcast. Thanks so much.
Alrighty. welcome back, everybody. So we're going to be talking about some RCQs we played. So Sam, why don't you go first? You played
Sure.
one 2 weekends ago at Plenty of Games.
hmm
How did you go? What did you play? Tell us about your experience.
Yeah, so I played a Elementals deck that I got excited by. I think Shahar Shenhar put out a video, and it was a 4-color Elemental build that looked like it sort of, nailed the consistency a little bit better than what we had seen at the Pro Tour. So I got like kind of excited to be like, oh, someone's cracked it, someone's worked it out, and then just like quickly got the cards together. And I say quickly, but I had to drive to like 5 different places, and it took me like half a day. But got the cards together and then played that. Lost my first round, and then I lost to Simic Badgermole, and like he just got me. Nice player. You were a competitive player, but it was lovely. And then I didn't lose again until the final. So I just won out the entire time, and then lost to our good boy Ian in the final on a run back after getting him in the Swiss. He worked out the matchup from a macro perspective, and he really made me. He really punished me for not thinking about it harder, and he really got me. I'm still mad at him about it, but he did deserve the win.
Yeah, congrats to Ian, and congrats on making finals as well. Good job.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the deck. It's just it's just a pile of mythics. It's hard not to enjoy.
Yeah. So I actually ended up borrowing the deck off you, and one of the guys I versed just at one point was like, "That's an expensive deck that you're playing there," and I'm like, "Yeah, I never would have built this myself, but I just got to hand it to me." So,
well, I mean, it just like I had to buy the elementals for the PT, so it's sort of like I owned all the expensive stuff already.
yeah.
How did you find it? Like, so you ran it back just the weekend gone. How did it perform for you?
So leading up to it, I was like, oh, I actually wouldn't mind playing a bit of standard myself. And I was playing the blue-black Excruciator deck a fair bit, and I was doing okay with it. And I was messaging you. I'm like, oh, I want to make these changes or whatever. And then you just were like, why don't you just play the 4-color Elementals deck? It's really powerful. It's really good. And basically, you were like, I didn't do much, and it carried me there. So it can carry you too.
Yeah, I just turned up with it. It just the power level carries. It's a deck of Flame Tongue Kavu, right? Like every card is a 2 or 3 for 1.
Yep. So I was like, okay. And then you were like, yeah, just look up 4-color Elementals, Shahar Shenhar. So I did that. And so I played that deck for about 4 or 5 days that week. And then I went and picked up the deck off of a mutual homie. I worked that night. So the tournament was on Sunday. I picked up the deck on Friday. I start looking at it maybe Saturday afternoon to just check like sleeves tokens or whatever. And I'm like, what is this deck? This is not what I've been practicing all week. I've been playing a different 4-color Elementals all week. I didn't have Bringer of the Last Gift or any of this. I was playing like the roaming throne version.
I did not know this. I'm finding this out live, guys. You looked up the wrong video?
Well, I looked up Shahar Shenhar 4-color Elementals, right? And there was the roaming throne version, and then there's this reanimator version. So I remember the roaming throne from the PT, and I'm like, okay, he's obviously done a video on it. That's what you're talking about. So I've grabbed that, practiced that all week, looked at the deck the day before. So I play like 10 games. I'm just trying to hammer them out on the Saturday night, just trying to learn the deck and whatever. But it was fun. Like I had an okay day. It didn't go too well. I lost a lot, but I just had like those combo days, where like I lost multiple games with 7 lands in play and 3 Bringer of the Last Gifts in my hand, and I'd mulliganed one to the bottom, right? And I'm like, you can't get upset. You're playing a fucking deck. Sometimes you just draw. And I just had multiple of those games. Like my opponent played a Torpor Orb out of Elementals, and he's like, oh, this normally solos you, right? And I'm like, sorry, out of the Lessons. Yeah, is it Lessons? And he's like, normally this solos you, right? And I'm like, oh, it's pretty good, but I can just play 2 mana 6/5s against you, and then you really struggle to kill them. And he didn't do anything for like 5 turns. He was stuck on 3 lands, and I lost the game on like turn 12 because I just my lands were like 3 Gloomlake Verge by turn 4 and 1 Cavern of Souls, and so it was like a decent keep to start, but then I just kept drawing Gloomlake Verges, and I'm like, okay, it's just like not my day. Like sometimes the mana base doesn't line up, or you can't cast your Vibrance.
The mana base is greedy as hell, right? So I've since changed it. I have fixed it up a little bit, like because I got on the phone with Matt Anderson and we just went through it, and I think that the mana base is in a better spot right now. But that being said, if you're going to draw like that, you're just going to draw like that, right? Like, who cares if they're Gloomlake Verges or Watery Graves? That's still a loss.
Yeah. Well, at least that would have turned on the black for me. Whereas all I could do
that's
was
true.
cast blue
Yeah.
spell.
So okay, so it sounds like I had a blessed run and you had just a messed up
cursed
day,
run.
same day.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So now it's balanced out, right? So now whoever plays it next will get a nice clean 3-3.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like a mid-house result. That'll be totally not worth our time. But yeah.
But I had fun, and it was thank you for the deck. And honestly, I'm like I want to start getting back into playing when I can. Like obviously doing a bunch of content and commentary and stuff, it's going to limit when I can play. So I've been thinking more, and I'm like, okay, well, when there is an opportunity, I would like to actually get out there and play and be in the trenches myself. If I'm going to be talking smack on this podcast, I should be smacking down in real life. So it was pretty humbling. I'm thinking I'm going to have to contact Volty and start doing some coaching and just get the brain dusted off and stretched so that we can actually start playing good Magic again.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Just a shout out for Volty as well. She's doing some great coaching for a bunch of players in Melbourne at the moment. So check out Aunt Volty on Twitch and get in touch with her because if anyone out there is looking for a Magic coach, I've seen her improve 3 or 4 players very significantly in not that much time. She's quite good at it.
Yeah, honestly, that's why I want to do it. I feel like at this point, it's like everyone else is doping with Volty and I'm not, so it's not fair.
Yeah. I don't even know who they're going to give these RC invites to once they work out the doping. Like they'll just do like they'll do the count back. It's like everyone in top 8's doping, man. Like I don't know what to do.
They're just gonna give it out as like a door prize at this point. So to make it fair.
You got to do it random because there's no other way. No, she's cracked. That's a good idea. I would recommend that, I guess. If you're not... It's one of those weird things about competitive Magic, right? Like, there is certainly, like, a mindset that you need to be in, and you can fall right in and out of it. And, I mean, that's certainly how I feel sometimes. Like, I feel relatively in it right now because I just prepped a PT, but after qualifying for it, I don't think I had any real event to play for, like, 6 months. So in the 3 months leading up to the PT, I had to get my brain back into it, and that was like an actual task. No, it's a real thing.
I think also just having someone to bounce ideas off in a space where it's like we're just dedicated to talking about high level Magic. Like having a team helps a lot, but even if you don't get a team, like you can substitute a team with like 1 or 2 people that you're like, okay, for the next little while, we're just talking about, like you said, like call up Matt Anderson and just talk about the mana base for your deck. Like we're just going deep on this very, very niche thing because we need to like go through all of it rather than just like very surface level of like, what's your matchup like here? Or what's a good sideboard card here? It's like actually talk about turn to turn and game plans and game 2 on the draw, game 3 on the play, whatever it is. Like being able to go that deep, I think is the thing that I've been missing for a while rather than just, and I think we talked about this on a previous podcast, like having help helps. So just like rather than just like theory crafting on my own all the time, like actually jamming with people will help a lot.
Yeah, it's really nice having someone to check you on stuff as well. Like it's nice to have the freedom to come up with whatever you like, but in the real competitive space as well, the rubber is going to hit the road at some point, and it's nice for that not to be on the tournament day.
It's nice to know what deck you're playing.
There's no roaming thrones at all. I don't even own roaming thrones. That's a funny one. Absolutely stitched you up again. There we go.
Accidentally. But yeah, fun times. So we've got the Sydney RC coming up soon. It's in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. How far away is that?
From the release of this episode, it should be like the week of, I think, actually. So pretty soon. A couple of weeks from when we're recording, at least. Yeah.
And you're going up and playing that? Is that standard, this one?
It's standard, yeah. So, I got convinced to go up. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it or not. Obviously, just travel quite a lot for Magic. And Sydney's not always the funnest city to visit unless there's stuff on. So, confirmed with some mates that there's stuff to do and going to a mate's birthday and stuff, so that should be good. But I don't know, like, I feel like I'm pretty well prepped for standard. So, you don't really get those all the time. Life doesn't allow for it, so hopefully I'm in with a solid shot to put in a decent placing.
Yeah, I think you'll smash it. Look forward to seeing what you do and what you play. And
just check me out on coverage. You'll know which shirt I'll be wearing.
Yeah, this one right here.
Yeah, that one. Oh my god.
This exact one. It won't be washed or anything.
That one won't fit me, man.
It doesn't fit me either. It's why I'm sitting down with it.
You said large, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Cool. All right, we've just got a couple more things to touch on here. There was a conquest match by Volty and Juzza, which we mentioned at the end of the last podcast. So that's happened. I watched that back. 4 hours of delicious Highlander goodness with just some of the best of the best. Volty, Juzza, Sam, as in you, Sam, and Russ. It was wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Me and Russell got a little shady by the end. But yeah, no, really great matches, and Volty brought some real spice to it. So worth having a look at, because we had Volty just deep in the brew tank, coming up with like weird ass decks, and Juzza just playing every blue-red deck he could find. It was a real, sometimes you see stuff like that and you're like, oh, come on, man, Juzza, play something more interesting. But in this case, it was a real style makes a fight sort of thing, that it was like, hey, Juzza's going to do it sensibly, and Volty's not going to do it sensibly at all, and it created excellence. So I'd recommend anyone check that out. Yeah.
Because if it's brew versus brew, you don't take it seriously. But if it's brew like kicking the shit out of Grixis, you're like,
hell yeah.
Maybe it's obviously still like skill diffing to some degree. If you play Volty's brews, you're gonna play like shit. But you can't skill diff that hard against Juzza. You
can't skill diff Juzza at all. We're talking about he is the Highlander world champion at the moment, as well as the national champion, but that's not as important. So yeah,
it's subsumed within world champion.
Yeah. It's a marginal award compared to worlds. We'll see if he can get the universal champion at some point as well. Really take it off. But yeah, Juzza's just such a tight, excellent player, and he's been playing so much Highlander, and he won Nats after brewing his own deck for it, or finding innovations back on Thoracle. So he's in a really good spot with it. Volty's always in a good spot with Highlander. It was really high level play.
It was an awesome watch. I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed seeing all the... Just Volty's brain is just something else, and the way they talk. They're just like...
Yeah.
They don't want to be up themselves, but they just despise everyone else so much that they can't. That they have to talk themselves up.
No, it's good content though, right? Yeah, she's a 101, that one.
Yeah.
But hey, she's backing it up a lot of the time. So I haven't seen her play an event and not make top 8 for a while.
Exactly. If you have something to say to her, then battle, and then shut up.
Yeah, I know. I have actually put a couple of things on record, so we will be battling at some point. But that hasn't been booked in yet. She has said that she will put me in the dirt, I think is what she said.
I think that's like the catchphrase for it at this point.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think I'm going to try and come up with some format where I don't just play Highlander, because I feel like I'm going straight into enemy territory with that one. I want a mixed format thing, please. Please.
Sure, like the Conquest would be like multiple different formats.
Yeah, I was thinking like we could do like 3 Highlander decks, 2 standard decks, and then 3 of each, and then ban 1 of each, and then maybe go like the banned decks. We can roll for which format it is, and they play in the in the 5th match.
Yeah,
something like that. We'll work it out.
Looking forward to that. Hopefully, that happens soon.
Yeah, it just takes me being organised.
Yeah. No, cool. Well, we're basically almost done, so we've just got a couple more shout outs here. So you went and did an episode on Raise the Standard with Kira.
Yeah. So should be out March the 2nd. So it should be out now. So go check that out. It's just a little bit more on PT experience and standard, and just how like my approach to competitive play as a quickly aging gentleman. And I use the word gentleman quite loosely. It's fun time.
Quickly aging, as in like not well and truly fine aged.
No, I'm falling to pieces.
Nearing expiration date.
Yeah, no. People say like, oh, that person aged well. No, don't say that to me. Nor will they.
They're too busy talking to you about how good you are at Magic.
They are. But like at this rate, I won't be surprised if my arm just falls off one day. Like it's going to pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, check out that. We recommended them last week. Sam's joined and done an episode, so that's I'm looking forward to hearing that. And then we also wanted to just give a shout out to Simon Linneberg, who's doing videos for Bazaar. He's been doing some draft videos. He
Yep.
did a Law and Eclipsed one. He's done multiple Powered Cube ones for Arena, and he's just an all-around awesome drafter and great person. So check out his content.
He's absolutely correct. Like, if you can find him on 17 lands, he's one of the highest rated players. His final wins conversions, particularly, are just something else, even compared to other good players. So, if anyone out there wants to learn how to draft at a very high level, that is the place to go. I've been, obviously publishing them, so I've been watching them a couple of times, and I'm picking up stuff on the second watch that I missed on the first, and it's a real tour de force of draft.
Fantastic. But yeah, I think that's it for me, homie. Do you have anything else you want to talk about, or how you feeling?
Yeah, no, feeling good. Everyone check out mtgbazaarevents.com. We've got a couple of things coming up, so Worlds and the 100K at mid-year. But other than that, no, we're good. We're going to keep rolling with the competitive scene for the next couple of weeks. And no doubt there's another set coming in just a month or something. So it's going to be a hectic start to the year.
Episode.
Yeah. Every episode is just a set review. Yeah, could be.
But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for joining me today, Sam. I had a blast, and we'll see you all on the next episode.
See you guys.
Bye.